Yeah.
Hey, it's Nikki. Welcome back to Ranting with Ricardo. So I've been gone for a minute because, um, honestly, my little sister got me sick, and then I had been going hard, like pumping out as many recap reviews, and did a little something like giving my thoughts on that damn 6K game. Y'all go watch the video. It's not very long about Destiny Payton, formerly Williams, and Letitia Scott formerly More or whatever, talking about talking with Carlos Kang, the reality show Kang, on the nightcap, and my thoughts on that damn 6K and all that. So I might come back to y'all with my thoughts about, Letitia, formerly known as Letitia Moore, now known as Letitia Scott, speaking on Ms. Van. I might come to y'all later about that, but not on a live, just on a regular little video, get my thoughts, put my 2 cents in there, because it's what I do. But yeah, I've been gone for. I gave y'all. Did I give y'all content on Sunday? I did. So I haven't truly done a live since Sunday, and I've been pushing this one back because I believe I still have a cold. My throat hurt a little bit, and child, I lost my voice. I lost my voice. Woke up, can't really speak. I was like all scratchy, sounded like I was like a heavy smoker. No, ma'am, I didn't like that. And yes, if you ask, yes, I was drinking my tea and doing all that. My tea with the lemon and the ginger and some turmeric and a little cayenne pepper in there. It actually helped, and I'm gonna continue to drink it. But we are here for the recap review because it's my channel. I can do what I want. Now, this is a Sisters recap review, and like I said before, you may not like a recap review on this channel, but guess what? It's my channel and I can do what I want. And if you're new to the channel, or well, not or, and you like the content on here, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. If you're not new to the channel, you don't like the content over here, still like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people, because guess what? You may not like me, but somebody out there does. Now, we are here for another recap review of Sistas, because I have to say it one more time because I love this episode. I was laughing the entire time I watched it, and I was vindicated. I was right. And somebody gonna get that creme brulee bacon heifer out my face and off my TV screen. Because I feel like he should have stuck to the status quo. Go on, find Sharpay and get out our faces, Hayden. But we're gonna get into it. So crazy Gary calls Andy, right? He called Gary. Well, not Gary. He calls Andy. Gary calls Andy. Y'all know who Gary is. Crazy Gary likes to hug hoes to almost to death, to the point where they got to go to the hospital to find out if he was truly trying to kill them or not, or if he just like really strong like that and possibly cracked a couple ribs. Y'all know that man. But he called Andy, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, I know you didn't have no company in the apartment or the penthouse. Y'all know that penthouse where he basically sold Andy's apartment right from up under her, bought the penthouse, put it in her name, and we all believe he is like Ralph from Real Housewives of Atlanta, got cameras and mics all up and through. But we move on. Now, he said he knows she didn't have nobody up in there, which then is like, oh, okay, can you see me now doing a jig for you? Like, it's like, what's going on up in here? And he tells Andy, he's like, yeah, I know, like, you saying Ralph, Robin is coming over and the whole Robin thing is way to get me to be jealous. Sir, we like Robin, we don't like you. And her saying that she has a date with Robin or Robin coming over has nothing to do with you. It's just basically letting you know my man Robin, who also happens to be my boss, also happens to come to the apartment sooner rather than later. And you are not it. I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you. But Crazy Gary ain't gonna take no for an answer because he asked her, well, can I take you out to dinner? No, Robin's coming over for dinner. He doesn't believe that. Well, can I take you out to lunch? No, me and the girls are meeting up to lunch to talk. Damn, could you save some time for me? No, we don't like you. She don't like you. You're crazy. You had the police pull her over, pull her and Karen over, traumatize them, and come to find out it's not even the police. It's some singing telegrams. Like, what is wrong with you? Moving on. After she get off the phone with Crazy Gary, Andy calls El Fuego. Now, El Fuego is a little stripper that was bumping and grinding all up on Danny in her apartment that Danny went to college with, and he graduated in computers. Now, Andy called him, and she's asking, I need to do a sweep of my apartment, find any like cameras, microphones, bugs, whatever. Can you do that? And he's like, yeah. And he was like, oh, you're surprising. And he's like, are you trying to call me stupid? She was like, no, just surprising. She get off the phone with him because he gonna come to the penthouse and do a sweep of everything. And she was like, he probably ain't got no tools because he was like, oh, so you think I'm a dumb dancer? And he's not a dumb dancer. Y'all like to underestimate people. It's like, here's the thing: if he has a tech company or he does this type of stuff, maybe the reason he's dancing is because the company hasn't taken off. We are living in hard times, people. Hard times. Quit playing these games with us, Andy. Talking about he probably ain't got no tools. Well, you're the one who moved into an apartment that a crazy man bought you, not realizing that he probably watching you get undressed, take his showers, people over drinking. He probably watch you get dressed and undressed every single night. You don't know those things. He probably watching you. He probably watches you as you practice self love with yourself. You don't know these things, Andy. Don't hate and don't talk about nobody, especially when you need their help. Child, now down to the OBGYN's office. Karen and Aaron are in there. Their names rhyme. But they down to the office trying to see who the pappy is and trying to see if she's actually pregnant to see if this baby or this pregnancy is a tale of make believe in a land far, far away, if it's fallacies and fairy tales. That's what we're trying to figure out. And we're trying to figure out who the pappy. Is Aaron the pappy? Because Aaron said he did the math. Or is Zach the pappy? Because that's what Karen wants. Because she believes that Zach did all this changing. Like he changed for the good, they which means they could be together now. That he's changed and now they could be together. No, you did all that hard. Like, I get it. The relationship was bad. What he did to you was bad. And, well, the things you did to him after, like sending him to jail, even though he did not have your credit cards, was bad too. But you did all that talking to him and you believe that he wasn't listening to you. But now that he's changed, you believed he was listening to you and that meant he changed for you and he didn't. He heard all of that, but you were not the person he wanted to change for. You were not the person he was meant to change for. You would have loved that he did that, but that was not the case. He changed for not only himself, but for Fatima. And you weren't who? Karen. And you are not who? Fatima. So can we move on, please? Boom. So we get down to the little law office, where Fatima, Andy, crazy ass should have stuck to making creme brulees, should have stuck to the status quo, get out my face, Hayden, him. Child, hey, tell Andy that I had your girl Fatima arrested. You need to be looking for a new assistant because I'm gonna have her fired. I'm gonna meet with the partners of the company to have her fired. Mind you, Andy got a leg up because her and Robin be bumping and grinding and doing all that stuff. So she hoping that after hearing all this information, that she could just talk to Robin and get that situated. Now, we still own the fact that Hayden got Fatima arrested. And he's like, yeah, don't be trying to go down there and bail her out because I got the judge. is basically my ace, my ride or die, my do or die. We tighter than a new week. We go back like four flats on a Cadillac, and she not getting out of jail. She gonna sit in there. Child, I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him. I'm sick, 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 sick of him. He's crazy. And I hope Fatima got some evidence on him, or she gonna be sitting my ass up in there until this Zatima spinoff, and I'll be recap reviewing that too. Now, Andy, while she's hearing all this, because she gonna go ride for Fatima, because that's her girl, like truly a better friend to her than Karen, in my opinion. But then again, Andy don't like to listen to Karen when it comes to crazy ass people like Gary. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know, honey. I don't know. But Andy is just like, okay, I heard you on all that. How long have you known crazy ass Gary? How long have you known this man? And Hayden's like, oh, a few years, which means y'all doing some shady ish. That's what it means to me. What it means to me is y'all doing some shady ish. Y'all probably working together to put people away. Y'all legit would work together to possibly put Zach and Robin away because they got the women y'all want. And it's just like if somebody don't want you, if somebody don't want to be with you, then take it as they don't want you and they don't want to be with you and move on. Because there's somebody out there in the world that's gonna love your crazy ass just as much as you love them. And Andy's just like, well, I just introduced y'all last week or 3 weeks ago or however long she introduced them. So if y'all been friends for years, are you telling him the comings and going of Robin? And he not answering. But it seemed like he is telling that man the comings and goings of Robin, which means Gary got a super sleuth. Gary got an I Spy private eye up in this hole, an Inspector Gadget up in the office, telling him all Andy business. And all I got to say is, when y'all take Hayden out, take Gary ass out too, because we sick of him. And I would like Andy to get it together and be with Robin. They could be a power couple. Hello. Child, now we down to the house with Zach and Preston and Jake. Jake leaves after helping Zach with all that stuff, just trying to get him prepared. If he has to go to war with these people over his goddamn money and any supposed baby mama, Karen, or the heifer who took him, like went to court, got him arrested for back child support, even though he doesn't know if that's his baby or not because no DNA test was had. Something ain't right in the water. The buttermilk is spoiled over there. Now Zach and Preston in the house, unpacking and everything, and Zach is just cracking jokes. So it's just like y'all, this episode had me laughing, just like the things he was saying. But eventually, we see that they set up the house really nice, very nice for two raging heterosexuals. I was like, let me find out y'all know how to interior design up in here. Might hire you. And Preston asked Zach about Fatima, and Zach is just like, she's the best thing that ever happened to me. She's the one who made me want to change for the better to get myself together. Because mind you, Fatima was all for the man when he was down working to the airport. And she was still for the man when, he had his come up and was building the house and everything. So, they love each other for real, for real. And he's just like, it's no drama. And for the first time in a long time, he's very happy, which we all want for Zach. We want him to be happy. And while we are wanting him and Fatima to be happy, hello, Zatima, we want Karen to be happy with somebody else. And then we want her to take that imaginary baby and whatever man she got and get the hell out of our faces. That's what we want her to do. Now they get to talking about Preston and Danny. And child, he's just like, Danny is scared. Her and Fatima are just the same. And you're not gonna take your word for just anything. You have to put some action behind it. And really, when it comes down to Preston and Danny, they actually need to have a real conversation because there's only so many times Danny can say, "Well, we don't have anything in common," when y'all have yet to sit down and talk about anything. Y'all just, Preston just moved up into the apartment with you, invading your space. And y'all, I don't think y'all really sat down and had real conversations or truly like went on dates. So that's where the root of y'all problem is. If y'all actually communicated with each other, y'all could figure out if y'all wanted to be a couple or not, or be with one another. And then we can move on from there. Child, I love me some Zach and Preston. Like, I love that friendship. It's funny. Now, Zach calls Fatima because he's trying to, get her to, get off of work, go on a little date with him because he got a surprise. And the surprise is the house is finally done. The furniture is moved in. They can finally move in together and be happy. The problem is Zach does not know that Fatima was arrested. He doesn't know. Our girl is locked up. And he thinks that her phone is just going to voicemail because she's maybe busy or she's not by the phone. But really, our good girl is locked up, and we don't know how she's going to get out. She locked up, and they won't let her out, and it's really hard and trying on me because my girl is down bad. Now, down to the airport, Danny sees the cop. What is his name? Logan, reuniting the kidnapped girls that he was trying to help find and get back to their families. Like, he's reuniting them with their families. It's been 3 years. They finally got them reunited. He shedding a little tear. And Danny apologizes to him for standing him up. And she asks him out to dinner. And he's like, you sure? You sure? You're not going to stand me up? And she's like, I'm not going to stand you up. He was like, okay. He's for it. But he told Danny, no, Danny told him, we're going to talk and we're going to get to know each other. And, he liked him some Danny. It's obvious. But he tells Danny, listen, this talking and getting to know each other, that's great. I'm all for it. But how this date going to work out? Because you said it's a date. I'm going to pick you up at your place because I don't want you to stand me up again. But I'm like, she could stand you up even if you, come to her apartment to pick her up. She could have a man in there. She could have Preston, El Fuego, somebody else. She could not answer the door. It's a lot she could do, honey. Moving on. Now we see Andy. She goes to see Fatima, and Fatima is like, she shouldn't have gone to the streets on Hayden because Hayden is the type to call the police. He not about that street life. He don't understand street code. And he always wants to involve the law and stuff. And Andy tells her that the judge, once again, like I said before, the judge is, I wouldn't say in his back pocket, but the judge that he went to about this whole entire case is a nonviolent judge and is on his side. But I'm just like, this man is crazy. Fatima just wants the man to leave her and Zach alone, but Child's not looking good for our good sis because ain't no bail. Raggedy ass Hayden. That raggedy hoe. Hayden is up to something. Why won't you let her out on bail? Like, what is your problem? And then Andy asked Fatima, have you talked to Zach? Do you want me to call him? And Fatima's like, no, because Zach has a record. And if you can't get me out on bail, then you could call Zach. But when it comes down to it, Zach has a record. And the fact that Hayden had Fatima arrested, and it was also Hayden's fault that Zach got arrested one of those times, Zach might actually kill Hayden. And we don't need both of them locked up and can't get out. Now, before Andy leaves, she's like, was it worth it? And yes, it was worth it. It was worth it. The time she allowed them men to get a beat down on that man in the parking lot and left him naked and tied the hood of his car and was taking pictures. And it was worth it throwing his daddy's ashes. He should learn to stop playing with people. You want to act crazy? Well, baby, I'm going to show you crazy. Now, down to the bank. Sabrina is there in her best church lady outfit. She's smiling. She has a happy glow. She had a really good date with the customer. I'm gonna call him the customer because I don't know his name. And Maurice is asking her, what you get into last night? He thinking she, out here hunching people, but she's not. She's just happy. She felt like that was like the best date she's ever gone on. They were able to talk. They were able to connect. They danced. They drank. They ate. It was a good time. How about y'all? Now, Maurice tells her, you need to talk to Calvin because, he and his little feelings about this whole situation. She says, I will. And he was like, well, you can talk to him later because he's going to come down here and cash his little check. And Maurice gets to talking about how the customer has like $36 million in the bank. He's very rich. He's this, he's that. And Sabrina says she likes the man. His money has nothing to do with it. Which, you're all like, that's always something that I know people with money like to hear, that somebody actually likes them for them and not for what they have, because then that shows you which people are around you for the right reasons and which people aren't, like which people are around you for the wrong reasons. Now, the rich bank customer sends Sabrina a truckload of flowers. But here's the problem. Sabrina's office is small, the bank is small, her apartment is small. Where the hell is she gonna put all these flowers? So she called him, and he was like, "You can't say no." She was like, "But it's too much," and she reiterates that all her ish is small. And she was like, "Maybe we could donate it to the hospital." And he was like, "Okay, we could donate it to the hospital. But here's the thing: if we gonna do this, I want to take you out tonight." And she was like, "Oh my God, it's like a weekday." And I don't know, it's like a weekday. I have to work. And he was like, "Listen, I have you home in bed by 11:30." And she was just like, "Me in my bed alone?" He was like, "Yeah, girl, in your bed alone, in your bed alone." So he's like, "Hey, hand the delivery driver the phone. I want to talk to him." So he talks to the delivery driver, like, "I'm gonna give you a really good tip. Take the flowers to the hospital." And boom, she keep maybe like 2 vases of flowers. Maurice gives him a little vase of flowers, and then we move on. Sabrina got a date. Hello. Now, Q brings Maurice some flowers he stole off the truck. And Maurice is basically like, "You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go." He don't want to deal with Q right now. Q was like, "Well, I'll be on your porch because guess what? That's where he's paroled to. He ain't got no other place to stay. So he gonna be on the porch waiting for you after work, Maurice." Calvin comes in and he's upset because, first of all, he was humiliated and emasculated down to the date with Sabrina when the rich customer came over there and stood in front of him like he wasn't there and started talking to Sabrina. And basically, the rich customer let it be known that when he stood in front of him, "You ain't nothing. You not it. Sit there and eat your food. I'm gonna talk to this beautiful church lady goddess right here." That's basically what that situation was. And Sabrina's like, "Oh no, that wasn't it." But it was like, yeah, it was. He was emasculated. Hum- I can't even say the word, but he got a face crack for the world. Okay, just a huge face crack, and you're continuously going on dates with the man who gave him the face crack of the century, and humiliated, emasculated, face crack of the century, and the woman he was on a date with got stolen. Yeah, I would see how he would feel some type of way. You need to tell him what it is, Serena and Calvin. Word on the curb, word on the street. What Marie said, you ain't got enough money to be buying no flowers, so I wouldn't be upset. Like, I wouldn't be upset about the situation. It was obvious she wasn't feeling you, but I get it that if somebody's not feeling you, just tell the truth. Don't leave no room for like no wiggle room to be like, "Oh, you could come back," when in reality you don't want to be together. Now, after that messy mess down to the bank, we get to my favorite part. I knew it. 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 Okay, the best part of the episode. Best part of the episode. So, Aaron and Karen have been talking about their families and him growing up in the Midwest, and her mom is a motorcycle lady and she be going around the world and everything, and how his parents worked in the factory. Good, we get it. Bye. Move on. So the doctor comes back in because they've been there for a minute because the labs were backed up. But the doctor was, doing a test and everything. So the doctor comes back in, confirms that Karen's pregnant. Karen sends Aaron out, and the doctor, the OBGYN, my good girl, tells Karen, it's surprising that, the home pregnancy test was able to catch this pregnancy, especially since you're only 4 weeks along. So most women don't find out they're pregnant until they're 6 weeks along or later. And sometimes pregnancy tests don't even pick that up because you get false positives, you can get a negative, um, and they tell you all that, and then y'all go on about your business, and then you probably never go to the hospital. Like you probably never make a doctor's appointment, and like if it's a negative, and sometimes if it's a false positive, and then you take it again and it's a negative. So she was like, "Yeah, surprised that the test, picked that up. That's that clear blue. Clear blue will tell you, tell you how many weeks you are. I don't know personally, but I know from what I saw in the commercial. Now, due to the fact that it takes 6 days for the sperm to meet the eggs and all that stuff like that, and the fact that when Karen and Zach was up in that closet, Zach did not finish, it means with the 4 weeks along and that 6 days and him not finishing in the closet, the baby is Aaron's, and I was right. This pregnancy is not, unfortunately, a tale of make believe and fallacies and farces in a land of make believe far, far away. But however, it is not Zach's fault. Zach's baby. That's not Zach's baby. And child, if y'all look at the thumbnail, y'all could see her face the whole time. If it was Zach's baby, she would have been happy, jumping for joy, telling Aaron, it's not your baby. But that's not what she did. She looked sad. She looked hurt because she had to do the math herself and realized that, yeah, Aaron is the pappy. Aaron did the math and found out he was the pappy. The doctor did the math and found out Aaron is the pappy. Karen had to do the math and found out that Aaron was the pappy. Guess who's not the pappy? Zach. And guess who's not going to want to be with you? Zach. But I got a feeling that Karen is going to lie and not tell them the truth. And if you do that, I'm going to figure out how to jump through the TV screen and smack you up across your head, because you don't be lying about who the father of people's children are. With that comes a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and unfortunately sometimes a lot of violence. Now, with that being said, that was the recap review of Sistas. If you liked it, if you are new to the channel, you like the content over here, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. If you don't like the content over here, or you're not new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. Because guess what? You may not like me, but somebody out there does. Now, I forgot this in the beginning, but I'm going to say it now. If you would like to get in touch with me for any type of business, you want to follow me on social media, you want to buy some merch from me, or you want to bless me with a little something, well, first of all, it's scrolling across the screen below on the little ticker down there, but it's also in the description box below. And I'm going to be coming back to y'all maybe in the next 10 minutes with the Basketball Wives recap review, because these homie hopping hooping heifers, child, that episode was a mess.